Sorry guys, camera turned off on me. Let me get you readjusted. Focusing on the heads here. Okay, just a little bit more in there. And there we are. So you have to manipulate the rings, manipulate the tensioner, make sure that's not in the way, and the cam chain all at the same time. This is a little bit of a fight. I think we're looking pretty good here. So let me just get it driven home here. And that's it. We're in. Don't want to rotate it too much because I've got everything kind of lined up here. Need the cylinder hold down bolt. So let me go find that. Sorry about that guys, I keep losing the camera or forgetting to turn it on or something. I don't know what I'm doing today. But I'll tell you what I am doing is paying attention to this process more than that. For good reason, you know, because this is critical. So just cleaning up the lubrication for the pistons that I put on to put the cylinder on. Double checking the gasket fit here. And it's looking pretty good. Things are getting to be a mesh over here. Alright, so got the plain washer and bolt. Lovely. That'll be done by hand because you can't get on it without a thin socket, which at the moment I probably do have somewhere. Let me go look. There's a 10 long. That'll work. That'll work. Okay, I don't really want to torque that down right now because it needs to seat in with the head going on. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get the head gasket in. Don't know if you guys can see it, but I got the 4 knock pins in and the 2 seals for the cylinders here, the rubber O-rings or silicone O-rings. So that's one side of the chain. And there's the other side. So that gets the timing chain basically in place. And that's the head seated. So I believe next we need to get the cam in Make sure our timing mark is where we need it to be, and it is not. So I'm going to slack this chain up a little bit, get the timing mark in place. That is pretty close. We'll worry about the chain on the crank in a little bit. Actually, a little off to that side. So again, we'll worry about that in a little bit. Bring you back when I'm ready for the next part. Alright you guys, we're going to go ahead and put in rocker armor 2. Just lubing them up now. Drop this in here. Got the cam riding in there. I was messing around with that for a little bit, so I didn't come right back here, but just gotta slide the pins in. There we go. Finding the right spot there. Alright. And the last one. There it goes. See it racking against the stud. That's what holds it in place or guides it. So that is the rocker arms. They're just loose, of course. I was cleaning up a part here. Doing the final cleanup on it. I got to remove the gasket material yet. This goes on the end of the cam. And then locates the cam here on the head. So we'll get those on here in a minute. I just need to finish taking off the gasket material there. And of course I'm taking one of the pins with me here, which is normal because that is what guides it. Go get that back in. Okay. I just need to clean this up. I hope I got some of that because it looks like it didn't. It is what it is, I guess. And again, we got another long one here. That's got to be for here. This one's got to be for there. That one's for there. And that's got the side cover on. Okay. It only goes on one way. There's 2 oil holes. There's oil passages here and here that are here and here. Here and there. So, gotta make sure that's lined up. Clock it. There we go. Find the screws for that. I think these are them, but they're ugly. Yep, that's probably them, but these are not pretty. So I probably have some around here that are pretty. I may have to just replace those later because these are for the other side. Yeah, those are for the other side. But let me check. Maybe I have some more. All right, I got 2 good ones here and a 3rd good one there. And these 2 can go in the trash heap. They're horrible. Hopefully you guys can see that. But those are really bad. Really, really, really bad. Okay, so I polish up these 3. Well, those are not perfect, but they'll do for now. There's that. fitting up one of the cam bushings. Get a decent enough screwdriver, powerful enough to cinch this down. Just snugging it at first, and then give it the torque here. A little better right-handed, you guys. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can get it that way. Yep. There we go. Okay, that'll do it. Back for the next part. Sorry about that, guys. I put the cam chain in and the head the rest of the way on with the side cover here, and I realized that I ran out of battery. Thought I was recording. Again, sorry about that. Let's see here. All right, valve cover is on. I don't mind telling you guys, I am a little tired. Been a long day already. I think I've been out here for 9 hours so far on this. You know, a lot of these parts still needed some cleanup work, so I've been doing a lot of that. Jumping back and forth between that and stuff you're seeing here. I don't think you care about the cleaning up of the parts. Really, it's just cleaning screws and I don't have any polishing work to do for this motor, but I will be doing more of that on the next one, which was the one that actually ran in the early video. But right now, this is the motor going together. This was the motor in the box, and it's getting pretty close now. Just trying to button it up, and then hopefully put it on the bike tomorrow. Really? Tomorrow? Tomorrow. Hopefully put it on the bike tomorrow. But that's a little bit ambitious. I still have to do a few more things here on the bike. Still got to put the oil slinger on there, that side cover on. Sure, I'll probably get to that today. But anyway. How quickly the bench gets disorganized. And all I'm looking for right now is the head bolts, which I know I have here because I saw them this morning. As soon as I actually locate them here, we'll get them put on. And here they are, hiding under the magnifying glasses. Okay, so I'm just looking at the head bolt torque sequence here, as soon as I can find it. So it says about 16 foot-pounds here. So now I need a 14, I believe. Yeah, I swear I had a 14 out here. You know, that doesn't go down far enough on there. This one should go down far enough. Alright, now I'm going to take it to full torque. I just wanted to cinch it up so it's at least trying to be more even than torquing the first one all the way to spec here. Get rid of this extension. Alright, that should do that. I'm going to go ahead and put the side cover on. I want to leave it off, but I got to put it on because I want to put the motor in the bike, but it has to come back off to time the motor, and I'm just going to do that in the bike as I said. We will go ahead and get this on here. Got these little O-rings. I'm just going to cinch it down. I'm not going to tighten it tight. Just trying to keep the oil that's in the motor now from leaking out. I'm just tightening the bottom a little more than I want to because if it's going to leak, that's where it's going to leak. So these aren't fully cranked down yet, but they're close. And I actually found, I did pick up some screws for this other side cover over here. So I'm going to replace those real quick too, because these are exposed as far as the base metal is concerned. So, you know, they're all 50 years old. Not that the integrity of the screw is bad on this one, but it's just the cosmetic quality of it is not there. But, you know, who knows? I'm sure they've probably stretched a bit over the years too. So, anyway, I'm going to replace those right now. Those looks pretty good. So I've gone through and retorqued all of the bolts again, all the screws on the exterior part of the bike. Actually all of them were holding torque, so I didn't really find any loose ones. The only thing I did miss or forget yesterday was to put the top bolt in here, but you know, going over everything another time helps solve those issues. And of course, when I put it in the bike, I'm going to go over everything again, just make sure everything's tight and so on. Give it about a 20-mile road test, and go back through it again. So after the 20-mile road test, I'll do that 20 miles and I'll do it 100 miles. I'll have the owner of the bike bring it back after, you know, it gets to 100 miles. So I could check everything, do an oil change on it. I'll actually do an oil change at 20 miles. Just because there's some assembly lubes inside and all that stuff. So after the initial startup and run in for about 20 miles, probably about 4 hours of motor running, because some of that time will be tune up and so on. But and then short break-in rides. So probably about 3 or 4 hours of running. I'll go ahead and do a oil change on it, make sure all the points and condensers are good, check all the bolts again, and then we'll move on. Give it to the owner. There are still a few things that'll be outstanding on this bike. The rear wheel that needs to be rebuilt for one, and just a couple other minor things that we'll get to later. But this will be completing the build. Not sure how fast I'll have this done, but I'm going to put in the motor today and see how far I get with assembling that. Alrighty, so we'll get to that. I'll get set up.